Ответки з якого входу він буде?
Кросо і Камрі.
Ласкаво просимо до Вельсу.
Ми студенти кіношколи.
І зараз ми хочемо взяти інтерв'ю у Стівен Долфі.
I'm from Kyiv.
You're from Kyiv itself.
Yeah.
Okay, so today we really want to ask you 3 questions real quick. So the first question is, why did you come to the our Film4Teens school? It's really an unusual place for the politics, isn't it? Yes.
Well, I came because I've worked with the Ukrainian community here for a number of years since the start of this phase of the war, and I know many people from the Ukrainian community. And I myself have travelled to Ukraine twice since the start of the war. But actually, when I was younger, I taught English in Ukraine, in Lviv, and even before that, I was involved in Ukrainian culture myself in Canada. So I used to dance hopak, and I used to sing Ukrainian music, and so I had many connections with Ukrainian Canadians. So a link with Ukraine has always been important to me. So, and I've tried to support the community as much as I can.
That's so exciting, honestly.
Our second question is, what was the most unexpected thing you saw in our school?
In your school, in
here,
I think it's because there's so many people who come here. I think that's what's amazing, the number of activities that are happening, and the fact that people are, even despite the situation at the moment, still developing their skills and learning so much, but also taking part in culture here in Wales and in Cardiff. I think that's fantastic because, you know, for the future, it not only gives you skills, but it also creates the links and the cultural links. So.
Yeah, thank you. What was the last time you had a meeting with the Ukrainian president, if you had one?
So I've been with him on a number of occasions, but the time I met him personally, one-to-one, was actually in September of 2022, so not long after this phase of the war started. And I travelled to Kyiv. I was one of the first British MPs to travel, and we were in his bunker with him, and it was very sadly at the time that Queen Elizabeth had died, and he wanted to give his personal best wishes to all of us and condolences on the loss of the Queen, but also to thank us for what the UK has done for Ukraine. And it was a very emotional moment, and he was very open and direct with us about the challenges that Ukraine was facing and wanting us to continue to support. So it stayed very much in my mind. And I've met with many other Ukrainian ministers and MPs. I visited Lesia Zabrana is here today. She has visited my district here in Cardiff, but I have visited her district in Kyiv, and I have met with people in her community. I've met with young people who are having to go to school in bunkers underneath their homes. You know, so I've seen with my own eyes the reality of what the war is doing. So.
Thank you.
So how was your meeting? How did it go? And what do you think about Kyiv in general? Because it's quite bigger than Cardiff.
I mean, Kyiv is a big city. It's beautiful, and the situation on the river and the history. And I was lucky to be able to visit some of the churches and the Great Gate and many other of the issues. But the problem is, of course, is that it's a city in war. So you have this sense on the one hand of people trying to live their lives and go for a walk in the park or go to restaurants, but then at night there's the curfew, there are the missiles. I've been there while there have been attacks, and you know, it's a very, on the one hand, it's a very similar, you know, being in a European city. You know, it's fantastic, but on the other hand, you can hear the missiles going off, and you can see the damage, and you can see. I visited Irpin and Bucha and Hostomel and areas not long after the atrocities there, and for me that was very hard to see, because you know that could be your city as well. You know, that I said to people here in Cardiff, imagine if you drove on the road out of Cardiff. That's what Ukrainians are going through right now, and it's why we need to support.
Yes. So, in your opinion, what is the word patriot is? What is it for you?
Patriot.
Yeah,
patriotic.
patriot.
I think it's an important word because it's different from nationalism. Patriotism, in my view, is believing in your country and your values and standing up for your people, your culture, your language, your history, your heritage, your music. We have that very strongly here in Wales, but it doesn't mean excluding others. It doesn't mean separating yourself. It means welcoming other people in your society, showing them what's good about your country as well. So I am patriotically Welsh, but I believe in working with other people in Wales.
So can you call yourself actually an Ukrainian patriot? Like,
I hope so. I have a Ukrainian colouring book for children on my shelf in my office in Parliament, which talks about patriotism.
So
it's given for the children, you know. And I support Ukraine. I want Ukraine to be victorious. I think what Russia has done is the most wicked, barbarous thing. And we all have to stay with Ukraine, not just the short term, but the longer term, to ensure that you're victorious.
Yeah, thank you so much for the interview, and thank you so much for helping us.
Helping Ukraine. You did lots of things.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you both.
На цій зустрічі ми змогли взяти інтерв'ю у людини, яка показала нам, що якщо ти не українець, ти все одно можеш любити нашу державу, допомагати їй. І це дало нам віру в те, що все буде добре, і ми робимо це все не напрасно. Дякую всім, слава Україні!
Дякую за увагу.